Welcome to the Opinionated Aussies.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Opinionated Aussies podcast. It's probably morning in wherever you're listening to. I don't know. It's morning for us.
Very early in the morning.
Very early in the morning. As usual, it's me, your boy, it's Adrian. I'm very tired. I've just woken up. Joined by Jordan, a madman who's just come back from a 6-hour fucking drive. You're fresh, aren't you?
I'm feeling fucking peachy, mate.
Peachy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to describe it.
Peachy, fucking you. You're still a madman. Small talk. Didn't really ask you. Do you have a good time down Brisbane, though?
Yes, I did. It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Good little fucking holiday.
Got to spend enough time with
The other half?
the other half.
Yeah, no, it was good.
That's good to hear.
Country trip driving down and a country trip driving back, but the
I know.
holiday itself was good.
I know your drive back was a kind of a trip because you're currently dealing with the end of a chest infection. You've probably completely recovered from that. But now you've got a fucking ear infection.
I can't win, hey. I cannot win.
No! And for those at home, this poor bastard's going back out to work, like, in a couple days. So, he's got to deal with this.
I dealt with it out at work last fortnight.
With the chest infection, and now you're going out with an ear infection.
Oh, hopefully I can get some strong antibiotics and nip it in the butt, I think.
All you need now is herpes to finish off the next fortnight.
Well, funny you say that, because I've got a cold sore coming on.
No.
No, dead set.
Oh, fuck.
I went to the chemist yesterday, and just to grab some probiotics, I think I grabbed, and walked up to the counter, and I was like, do you have any over-the-counter cold sore medication? Like, yeah, actually. Take 3 tablets at once. And it's like one course of antibiotics sort of thing. And yeah, you should be right. And I was like, yeah, fuck, I hope that works. Woke up this morning, it's not sore, but it's starting to break out, so.
Lovely. Well,
fucking poor me, right? Poor me.
First world problems. At least you got clean water. That's always a bonus.
Yeah, well, that's right.
But yeah. Yeah, no, I wish I could say that I had a fantastic week while you were gone, but I already told you. I already dealt with enough shit in my head this week, which leads me into today's topic. Mental health. Now, we know this isn't an easy topic to tackle on a social media platform of any kind, and you got to tread carefully with it to an extent. So, that being said, we don't exactly have nothing to say about it because we ourselves have dealt with enough of it. Both literally ourselves as well as many around us. So, you've got a lot more to say about it than I do, that's for sure.
Oh, you're going to make me start off?
No. I was going to say, because you do, I'm going to start this off.
Okay.
So, we all know the big bads of mental health, and we can't understate them either. We'll go with the biggest one of all. We all know depression.
Yeah.
We all I reckon everyone in their life will deal with depression, to an extent.
To an extent, but I don't think that's the biggest one.
It's the most recognisable one, and it's the one that
I don't
people...
think it is, though. I think addiction is.
Addiction. Oh,
Addiction.
Yeah, well, do you see... That's the problem. Some people don't see addiction as a mental health issue.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So can I. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I still think it is more of an issue, whether it's mental or not, rather than any other mental health struggle.
True.
Because, you got to think of it like sugar is the biggest fucking, most addictive thing in the world, is sugar. It's in everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't go down with that sugar, you get, withdrawals like you would heroin.
And what's worse, it's in everything that's processed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to go down to your local Woolies today, even some of your fruit and veg are heavily processed. so that because they have to be mass produced. Like,
not necessarily. Fruits and vegetables have sugars in them, but it's a different type of sugar. So it's not so bad. But
it's
like
not
even like a loaf of bread, you have a look at the amount of sugar that's in a loaf of bread. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, even your plain
white bread.
Your plain white bread that Woolies offers in its own branding.
Yeah.
And it's probably the worst one for it.
Yeah. Apart from like your French bread and stuff, your brioche and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, but they're made. You're expected to have the sugar in those.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially that brioche. Like,
it's fucking great.
Yeah, that brioche is awesome.
But like even like you look at a serving of cereal, for instance.
Yeah.
The only one that I think that doesn't have it is like Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
But then if you're gonna have Wheat Bix, you put sugar in it anyway.
Not always true.
But or you have some fruits or something with it. But
yeah. I mean.
But you go like buy Cocoa Puffs or fucking Milo cereal or something like that. It's full of sugar.
Mm.
Everything we eat. A lot of people are addicted to coffee, but they won't call it an addiction because it's coffee. Everyone drinks coffee.
Now,
but you try not to go for a cup of coffee a day.
Now let's keep in mind, out of the two of us, I am the coffee drinker.
Yeah, that's right.
I can tell you it's a problem because I'm not stupid enough to go, yeah, coffee's not addictive, motherfucker. I'm on my second cup already today.
Yeah, you've only been awake for an hour.
Actually, just over an hour now. There you go. Exactly. And out of the two of us, you don't.
Yeah, but my addiction is energy drinks.
Yeah, which is still a form of caffeinated drink.
Oh yeah. It's full of caffeine and sugar.
Except yours is arguably worse for you.
Oh, it depends on which side of the fence you sit on.
Unfortunately,
unless you have a low to no sugar diet and only drink lemon water in the morning and fucking all that sort of bullshit.
Imagine waking
sugars and everything.
Imagine waking up in the morning just have a fucking lemon water.
Oh yuck.
I mean, actually, the benefits of lemon first thing in the morning isn't that bad, but still disgusting.
Even you think of like your man shakes and your OptiSlim shakes, all of them are full of sugar.
Fucking oath. They act as a replacement for other sugar, like
for
foods
meals,
that you would have. Admittedly, there's an argument to be had that it probably would be better for some people to have them instead of the sugar foods. But let's get off the topic of addiction because that's a rabbit hole let's get off the topic of sugar addiction.
Yeah.
So and you've already brought up one. There's the coffee addiction, or more specifically, the caffeine. But elephant in the room, you've got drug addiction, and that I am including alcohol and tobacco in that.
Yes, yeah.
Because to an extent, they kind of do act like your typical kind of drug addictions.
Yeah.
Except one's a bit on the minor side. It's really addictive.
Well, they're both legal.
They're both legal.
One is just how can you put it? One is demonized more than the other. So tobacco is a lot more demonized than alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Everything in the world revolves around alcohol, especially in Australia. Our whole culture is centered on alcohol.
I don't know. The Irish would like to have a word here.
Yeah.
They'll
give us a run for our money, but
I don't need to bring up Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I still get over the size of those pints. I still get over Guinness. Oh, fucking you Irish people are weird. Warm Guinness. Anyway, that's a topic for another day.
You think of Aussies. If you rock up to a barbecue with a 6-pack, you the DD you're driving home. You rock up with a cart and you're expected to finish it,
oh fuck yeah.
Especially in summer.
Oh fuck yeah. Although there's a point to be made, if you do it during the winter, they still expect you to sit there and finish it, but the only difference really is there is now a fire in the backyard you can sit around.
Yeah, but everything in the Australian culture revolves around alcohol, which is in its own right, pretty fucking piss poor.
Ha! 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 Pun.
You're a fuckhead. You're a fuckhead.
I know. But we've already got another topic slated specifically for alcohol, so we'll come back to that at a later date. Tobacco, though, we haven't. So, you and I are both smokers.
Yeah.
Do you, agree with all the demonized things of tobacco?
Yep.
All of it?
Yep.
Alright. At least we can both agree on that one.
Yeah. I can understand why the government's going so hard on tobacco. Because, it fucks you up. It really does.
The only problem I have with the government doing it is they used to come up with lame excuses. I don't know if they still do, because I've stopped paying attention to it, of why they keep increasing the taxes for it. I remember one time I heard the government only keep adding or increasing the tax because it's going towards cancer foundations.
Well, no, it's not. But you got to think of the money that the government shell out for our free healthcare.
Yeah.
With tobacco-related illnesses.
Yeah.
Whether it's your lungs or different types of cancers and shit like that.
It would make sense, but let's be real. There's no way all that tax is going to that.
I dare say it'd be a fucking majority of it.
Oh, yeah, but it's not all of it. No way.
But you look at how many smokers there are. How many people are getting treated for cancer. They substitute the PBS, the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, substitutes so much money for cancer-related drugs in regards to lung cancer and fucking cancer of the esophagus and mouth and tongue and you name it. That's a big money.
Yeah.
I dare say the money they make from taxes on the cigarettes wouldn't even cover it.
No.
How many people smoke versus illnesses that are related from smoking to the money the government makes from taxes? I don't see it being. I still reckon they're going to be cutting short.
Oh yeah, easy. But alright, so
some people aren't going to like it. You redneck bogan. They always tax my cigarettes and my fucking beer. What else can I enjoy? The thing is, you're enjoying it, but you're fucking yourself over.
That's been the case for many years, though. We, as humans, are kind of self-destructive.
Oh, yeah.
So, liking something and being addicted to something that is, in the long run, going to kill you, kind of goes with our nature.
Yeah.
But we'll move away from addiction, because this is an episode about mental health. While it can't be...
mental health.
Yes, but unfortunately we're mostly talking about other things that come with addiction, not the mental health side of addiction.
Yeah, but we can get back to that.
Okay, well then, let's get back to that then. So, everyone always says that addiction is all down to the personality, which in turn would lead it to being argued that addiction is part of mental health. As we've stated, you and I are more on the side of the argument that addiction is a mental health issue. But let's have a look at it from the other side, because we try to keep ourselves as open as possible with everything. Why would you think people don't agree with the idea that mental health and addiction do not go hand in hand? Why do you think they would think that?
My first thought would be selfishness. I've done it so you can too type of mentality. I stopped giving up sugar, so anyone in the world can give up sugar.
That's not the case.
No, it's not, but it's, you got to see it from their way of thinking. I've done it so you can too.
Well, one of the ones that I usually hear is... it's not a matter of addiction, it's more of a matter of willpower, which we both kind of agree with. If you're going to break it... But some people can't, like, align willpower with anything. They just think willpower is its own thing. And there's many studies that have been done over the years on willpower. There's one that I read of, and I've also heard of in another podcast even, about a study where they got a group of kids, group A, group B, and they put a single marshmallow in front of each of the kids. And they go, we're going to leave the room. If you can not eat this marshmallow while we are gone, you will get more than one. Right? And they kind of... so the way it worked is, like, the kids got separated into Group A and Group B because of the results. Half of the kids didn't make it, obviously. They ate that one single marshmallow, got no extra benefits. Yeah. But then the second group did avoid eating it, and they did get rewarded for it, showing an incredible sense of willpower at a very young age. So what they noted that the first group would constantly, like, keep looking at it, and then try to go back to distracting themselves, but they just couldn't stop looking at it.
Yeah.
So as a result, they couldn't get their mind off of it, and they ended up eating it.
Yeah.
Second group did literally everything. Told stories to themselves, looked away, played little games with themselves against the wall, and they didn't eat it.
Yeah.
So they literally kept themselves distracted. We take that, we apply that more. As two people that... We'll go with the smoking one. Two people that smoke. I can say with confidence that this is something that is very true. You keep yourself distracted. You don't really notice any of your cravings.
No, that's right.
Like, I can go a whole day with no sugar water, no sugar drinks at all, because I literally used to live on sugar drinks. Now I just live on coffee and water, mostly. Maybe one energy drink a day, if you're lucky. But I can go a whole day, because if I keep myself distracted, like with work or with stuff for this podcast or stuff with my YouTube, or just keeping myself distracted in general, I never notice, I need to go have a smoke.
Yeah.
Or, fuck, I need some sugar. Because I'll admit, if I sit there and I start thinking, oh, I'm thirsty. Ooh, I got this drink in the fridge.
Yeah.
I will go grab it. What's your take on all that? Do you kind of see the same thing? I mean, with your job, I can understand if you literally are going to use your job as an example here for that one.
No, that's the worst example. Yeah, no. So, like, I find that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
Yep.
Definitely. If I'm busy doing something with my hands and, working on the car, for instance, or whatever, then I don't feel the need to have a cigarette. Or if I'm doing fuck all and I'll just finish a cigarette, I'll tell myself, no, I'll have one later. If you say, no, I'm not going to have one, you're going to crave it more.
Yeah.
So I tell myself later. And then when later comes, you go, oh, I'll have another one later. And it's just this sort of cycle of going later.
Yeah.
When it comes to my Red Bull addiction,
oh no,
that's a different kettle of fish.
You can't go the first hour of your day without being.
Oh no, that's fine.
No, I'm getting to the
point.
I'm getting to the point.
I'm good if I I'll wake up and have one, just like someone would with their coffee.
Yeah.
But I'll notice that I'll come to like midday or something. If I haven't had one for whatever reason, I'll come to like midday, and then because I won't have one after midday at all, I'll come to midday, and then I was like, oh fuck, I haven't had one today. So I've got a choice. I'll have like a little one, like 250 ml ones, or I'll go without. If I go without, I get massive fucking headaches. I get tired, irritable, and cranky, and you fucking name it. I'm the worst person in the world.
And that makes a lot more sense. I was gonna say, because I've like we've lived together, I'll know for a fact if it's a day off, if you do not have Red Bull in the house of any kind, one of the first things you do after you quote unquote wake up, servo run, and you'll come back with like 1 or 2 cans of Red Bull.
Depending on what's on special, yeah.
Yeah, if you come back with 2 big cans,
That's
you'll
special.
already have one open, and the other one will be that's tomorrow's done. If you come back with 2 small ones, you're gonna have half of the amount you normally have, and you'll put the other one in the fridge for later that day.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But that's usually that's the point I was going to make. If you don't have access to Red Bull of any kind, that is the first thing you tackle.
Yeah.
You do not tackle anything else. You could even be like...
I even noticed though, like, with my Red Bull and cigarettes, they go hand in hand. If I don't have Red Bull, I don't feel like a cigarette.
But as soon as you crack that Red Bull, it's like, time for the morning cigarette.
Yeah, that's right.
And
But-
vice versa. You come out, you're like...
But if I'm, busy, like tomorrow, I'm going to be busy all morning. So I won't have time to have either. I might have one, a small one, on my way out to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I dare say I will not have a Red Bull or a Durry tomorrow morning at all. Because I'm going to be busy.
Yeah, but that makes sense because you got an ear infection to go get cleaned up.
That'll be fine. I'm just going to get some antibiotics. But, that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And,
I
I can understand other people's coffee and cigarette, addictions and stuff.
Well, it's very similar.
But when it comes to having a beer first thing in the morning, I will never understand that.
Yeah, but you and I are not addicted to alcohol on that level. So let's go with, instead of us being addicted to caffeine drinks, we were alcoholics addicted to alcohol, right? Then you could probably understand that. It's not good, it is substantially worse, but it, in concept, is the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't start your day without that crack open of the beer and the lighting of a cigarette. With you, specifically, crack open the energy drink.
Oof.
So, when you look at it through that, while it's still not good, you can understand that a little bit better when you look at through those tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Not rose, those, because I just realised rose and those really sound the same. So, that's addiction. Now, we know that, the best way to fight addiction is, as we've gone over, is kind of willpower. You can also seek professional help, pretty much like with all mental illnesses that we will probably cover today. There is a mental professional that will help you with all of these.
Yeah, that's right. Whether it's like Drugs Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, they've been around for decades. And
let's not forget the smoking one. There's literally a quit line.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of professionals.
Well,
let's be real.
Yeah. Well, they would have had training of some sort, but I'm pretty sure the quit line's 24 hours a day.
It is. I should know because I've tried to quit many times. So with that basis covered, let's move on to some other ones. So,
what about schizophrenia?
Oh, schizophrenia. Now, this is one I actually do not have a lot to talk about because I'm not someone who's well versed in schizophrenia.
Yeah.
So, what I've always grown up with this belief of is, and I'm not saying my parents taught me this has just been kind of like my own interpretation because I wasn't well informed enough.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia, you're a fucking psycho.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I had. That's all I had to work on. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a bit more about it, and to an extent, that's kind of true, but with all of these mental illnesses, there's an aspect to them that makes you a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
So, depression, you have episodes where you're not the one that's like, oh, fuck, he's a psycho. It's, are you okay? And what's going on in their head, if they were to say it out loud, would make them sound like a psycho, but for different reasons, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But growing up, all I could think was a schizophrenia was someone who would literally just wave their arms about flailing, hoping it makes connection with someone or something. That's all I would ever think of. Keep in mind, it took me years to learn what a schizophrenic was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thank fuck you did that.
Because I don't think that to this day, because I know there's a lot more about schizophrenia than I would ever know. No one would ever tell me.
Yeah.
So, and to this day, I still have a very cloudy, foggy kind of interpretation of what a schizophrenic is. I've never been diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who is a schizophrenic,
Yeah.
to my knowledge, unless they are, and they just haven't said anything.
Yeah.
So, what is a schizophrenic?
Yeah, good question.
And it's, Jordan, you're supposed to be smarter than me here. Help.
How can I put it in simple terms? I think when you think of someone with schizophrenia, is like they have the voices in their head, you know, just like hallucinations, but not so much hallucinations.
Yeah,
They're not.
would you, if you were someone that knew that kind of was very easy to mistake something, would you easily mistake someone with schizophrenia for someone who has BPD?
So, according to Google, schizophrenia is a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. The exact cause of schizophrenia isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain chemistry and structure may play a role.
So you'd confuse someone with schizophrenia for someone who has ADHD or something?
That could be quite a possibility, yes. So
Because
someone that can't, or you nearly think multiple personality thing.
BPD, borderline personality disorder.
Yes, yeah. So something like that. So like, that wasn't me. That was Karen, sort of thing. Like a sort of a flipped switch in their head, and they've just gone off the rails and, you know, have manically just scribbled on the wall or something like that.
So, my interpretation of a schizophrenic growing up wasn't too inaccurate, but it wasn't. No. But it wasn't in the terms of violence.
They've gone in, for lack of better words, loopy.
So yeah, like I said, it wasn't violence that it was associated with, but still.
No, but it can be. It can come across as violence,
and it can also come across as just crazy. Like,
yes.
Like, put them in the straitjacket. Here's your padded room. Have fun, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that is the best way to describe it, because even I'm aware that that's insensitive. But keep in mind, I'm comparing this to what I believed it was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
well, we always thought the crazies had them white padded rooms with the straitjackets on.
In reality, they were just, the crazies were actually the ones that sat in Parliament. Anyway. But no.
Well, to go on to, I guess, a brother or sister to that would be BPD.
Yeah, you see, that one I've had a lot more understanding of. But that's because, growing up, I used to think I had some other personality.
Yeah.
Never got diagnosed. It was just me having an imagination as a kid.
Yeah.
What do you got, lockjaw?
No. I'm trying to pop my ears, but they're not popping.
But BPD, now, obviously, when you're a kid and you think you have another personality, keep in mind you might just have another imagination.
Yeah.
But if you're a parent and you're worried about that, take your kid to get tested anyway, regardless. That being said, this is not something that you can sit there and make a lot of quick-witted, smart jokes about, really. BPD is kind of something you have to take very seriously from the get-go.
I mean, they all need to take seriously from the get-go.
Oh, but BPD is kind of one that a lot of people, like, we've seen it over the years, a lot of people used to make fun of it. A lot of comedians.
What was that movie that came out and it was like, that wasn't me, that was Patricia?
Oh, no. Fuck, I know it.
Yeah. But
it was part of a multi-movie kind of thing. It ended with glass.
Yeah, well, he kidnapped like 3 cheerleaders or something.
Yeah.
And anyway, every time he'd come down, he would portray a different character.
Yeah.
And like he'd come down as, the dad, and then come down as like the gay boyfriend, and then
as a kid, and
then all that sort of stuff, and then right towards the end is where the main antagonist, I guess.
The antagonistic personality came out.
Which was Patricia.
Patricia.
Which was like the boss of all the other personalities.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh, fuck it. I've got my Google here. I'm gonna quickly search it while, hang on. I'll go Glass. I'll go Glass and then go from there. So... Glass?
No, it's not Glass.
No. I'm using it because of its,
It's
I'm just gonna
yes,
go.
yes.
I'm just gonna go with James McAvoy's thing.
Yes, and
2010s is what I needed. Let's see here. So he did that.
No.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Split.
Yeah, that's the one.
Split.
That's the one. Fucking hell, that was a whole episode just to figure out.
Yeah. So Split, I found is a really good movie that portrays it.
Yes and no. They more take the horror aspect of a BPD because it is a scary thing for someone to have so many different types of personalities and never knowing which one is which until they actually address who they are.
Yeah.
Which is it's a very scary thing. And that one, isn't there like medication they can give now where they literally suppress all the, I guess, sub personalities?
Yeah.
So that the dominant one can stay in control. Which can be a good or bad thing, because if the dominant one, the main one, the first one, is an asshole,
then yes, it's going to be it.
It's going to be a pretty negative side effect, but, you know, at least there's control and you know who you're talking to. With that, have you ever met anyone with BPD?
No.
No. Okay, so we're both in the same boat. We've never actually met someone with this.
No, not BPD.
That's kind of a scary thought. But then again, we could have, and we just didn't know.
Yeah, that's right. You just don't know.
But we could have. Oh, actually, no. I know I'm in control all the time, so I don't have another personality. I have moods. They're different. Which I guess we'll go into the.
Oh well.
We'll leave a. You have another point to make out about it?
Well, I was going to say I always confuse BPD with bipolar.
I guess we can go into that one. That's not a. That's I can understand. Get the confusion.
It just sort of sounds the same. That's why I always confuse it.
Yeah, but in the same vein, bipolar is the same personality, but their mood swings are cranked up to 12.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm just read there. Is with bipolar, it's you're either a -10 or you're a +20.
And it's very jarring for anyone in your life.
There's no real in between. There's no quote unquote normal. It's either you're fucking going to jump off a roof because you want to kill yourself, or you're going to jump off a roof because you're so happy.
Yeah, that's pretty much yeah. I remember because like I told you, I went and saw someone not too long ago. And you good?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Yeah, and they asked me if I was bipolar or if my family had any history of it, and they're like, okay, if your family has no bipolar in its history, then you can't have it. Do you think that's true?
I don't think it's...
You don't think it's true to an extent?
No, I don't think it's bipolar would be hereditary.
Neither do I.
It could be.
It could, but at the same time, I swear it's like... If you compare mental illnesses over the course of the last 70 years, how many people have come forward with all of these different diagnoses compared to the 50s and the 1900s? Because in the
you don't even need to look back that far. You just go the early 2000s, but in the 90s.
Yeah, the amount of people that would say there's nothing wrong with you, just walk it off, and people would go, yeah, you're right. But nowadays it's go get yourself tested for this, this, and this, and this, and they come back. I got positive. I tested for this. I have bipolar with BPD. Oh, imagine that combination. Oh, fuck. That's not a combo I wanted to put together, but my mind was like, yeah, we'll use that as an example. That's no brain.
I feel very sorry for that person if they ever have both, but...
I don't feel sorry for that person. I feel sorry for the people around them, because that's not an easy thing for loved ones.
It wouldn't be an easy thing for anyone.
It wouldn't be an easy thing for anyone in this situation. But yeah, I went so far back as the 50s, because that was the year my grandparents were born. So...
Yeah, we don't need to go back that far.
Okay, we'll go with when we were born.
Yeah, well, you only need to look at recently. It's only been the last decade where things have been a lot more prevalent. I think because a lot more people have their hands in social media, and Google is a fantastic thing. You can look up, statistics of how many people were diagnosed with X disease and killed themselves, or Y disease and died from it.
Yeah.
So the statistics are there, and they're a lot more easily accepted. I can't English this morning.
It's a lot more accepted that you have a mental accepted.
Yeah.
It's a lot more accepted that you have a mental illness, and bipolar does
but you
fall.
can also research a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
You can just go and Google how many people with BPD died in the last 12 months.
And how many people have bipolar?
Well, then you'll find too, especially with BPD and bipolar, a lot of people won't kill themselves from that, but if they do, it'll be from a drug overdose.
Oh yeah.
So that'll play a big part in it as well.
Yeah. With bipolar though, I remember this specifically. We'll go with personal example. I remember years ago, you kept saying to me, "I think you have some form of bipolar, Adrian." And I remember sitting there going, "I don't think I do." To this day, I think it was a good call that I said I didn't, because even now my doctor refuses to diagnose me with it. So, but then again, we've kind of narrowed down what my thing is.
Yeah, well, if they refuse to diagnose you with it, then you probably don't have it.
I know, which is why
I went
then.
to see a psychiatrist about it because, I was always, you're fucking -10, feeling down.
But then we found out
But then when I was, when I would drink, I would be on top of the world. Like, he thought I was manic when I would drink.
And
but
then
he goes, it's not... That's I don't think you're bipolar. I just think you need to bring yourself back to a nice level playing field by virtue of like psychology and shit like that.
Yeah.
And doing things for you rather than medicating you for something that I might not think that you have.
Yeah. Which I guess brings me to the next one. I guess we're gonna
brings you to the next one. Anyway, so back to the next one. What's our one following bipolar?
So what I was going to say is maybe we should now tackle the two that we have been fighting with. We'll start with...
Well, I know that. I've just wanted to get everything else out of the way because, there's a lot more to mental health than just depression and anxiety.
I know, but...
There's so many more avenues around it, and I didn't want to tackle them first and leave nothing else on the table. You know what I mean?
True. So
I want to try and tackle everything.
So what else are we missing then?
Like a subgenre of depression is postnatal depression, which we're both men, we don't go through it, but it's also something that needs to be addressed.
So postnatal depression.
So after a woman has a child, the constant lack of sleep, I sort of saw it firsthand to a degree, which I think it could be postnatal depression, but who knows. She'll look at her child and with absolute disgust in her eyes. It's like she won't, love that child at all. Which is what it feels like. I don't know if the case is true or not, but that's just what it looks to me from the outside looking at.
Yeah.
Not having an idea of what it's about. I've heard some people come, quote unquote, better. They come off it, sort of thing, later on.
Postnatal.
Yes.
Or
So
I would imagine that it is something that can be fleeting and can be a passing moment. I do feel like it is something that can pass for them. Because it's being caused by extreme lack of sleep, like you said. We know that for
also, I guess, a lot of hormones, like a woman's body goes through so much with hormones and stuff.
Oh,
having a child, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be real. Once the hormones settle and a normal sleep pattern can ensue, and she starts getting the right chemical releases in the brain again, postnatal depression can be something that just passes, and she can go back to being her normal self before she gave birth.
But what if she can't?
That could probably then be attributed and change from being diagnosed as postnatal to just depression.
But it's still postnatal. That's the thing. That's the cause of it.
I know.
So,
That's kind of a difficult one to really, because you and I will never personally go through postnatal because we like too much penis.
Unless you get cut off. But
the idea of that, dude.
But yes, even that being said, we don't know. So it could get better, it could get worse. It's just one of the things we don't know.
It's just one that we're never going to have enough to know about.
Yeah, right.
We could do all the reading, all the research, all the asking of the questions and everything. I sound like Fink from fucking Simpsons. All the questions and but we'll never know. You'll never
experience it.
And that there's the nail in the coffin for us on that one, because experiencing it, because you go through the main one, you'll never know the postnatal one.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. And if you ever do, what are you not telling me?
Yeah.
But that actually brings up, so is it always just the hormones? Could it just be the sleep one as well? The lack of sleep that could cause it?
Well, I don't know. I've sort of was doing a bit of thinking on the drive up. And, I was thinking, the next generation of children, why is everyone so depressed, in their teenage years? Why is it so much worse now than what it has ever been? And I didn't come to a conclusion, but I come to a bit of a point.
It came to a realization.
And I just thought, I think a lot of it has to do with how late kids are staying these days, how late in the night they're staying, how little sleep they're getting, and being a teenager, you're going through puberty, or you've been through puberty, you're dealing with emotions that you've never had before. You're not sleeping well. Just imagine, only getting 6 hours of sleep a night because you're up playing video games or whatever.
6.
I don't know, just fucking dart it up or sort of thing.
6 is a very normal number. 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, but you think about this. You go to bed at midnight, wake up at 6 a.m. It's completely different than going to bed at 8, waking up at 4.
Yeah, because that's
10 hours. But say going to bed at 8 and waking up at 2.
Yeah.
You think of it. It's still the same amount of hours sleep, but you feel so much more refreshed waking up at 2 o'clock while being in bed at 8 than being up at 6 o'clock going to bed at midnight. That's where I think a lot of, especially with the younger generation, it falls down, is because they're not getting enough sleep, and the sleep they are getting is not quality sleep.
True.
So, you don't even talk about years of bad sleep, you only talk about months. You have one bad month of bad sleep,
and you're going to be down in the dumps.
Anyone, just about anyone, I bet my fucking ass on 99% of the people, if they have a month of bad sleep, they're going to fucking they're going to feel depressed as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where I'm saying sleep plays a big part, and that was just me, having between towns this morning, having a bit of a think about why are the next generation, and even us to a degree, our generation, why is it so prevalent rather than a generation before us?
I guess that's the segue to just depression in general. That wasn't what I expected.
But that even now, that's what I'm thinking. Like, well, I'm out of work. I only get say 7 hours sleep, maybe 8 hours, maybe.
But you're always up at the arse crack of dawn, and in bed as early as possible.
Exactly right. I can be in bed sometimes by 7:30 at night.
Yeah.
But I'm up at 3:30, so.
Yeah, but the sleep for you is not what's causing your depression.
But it's definitely made me fucking feel better, is by getting more sleep.
Yeah, it's helping you, I guess, on the road to recovery, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah, but that's the whole point I'm trying to make, is before you go down into that downward spiral, you need to start sleeping more and getting better sleep. Even say for instance you want to wake up at 6:30. There's just Google sleep timers, and we'll tell you, in order to get 6 cycles a night, as you know, our body sleeps in 90-minute cycles. We have a deep sleep, our REM sleep, and it fluctuates between that.
Yeah.
In order to get a good night's rest and wake up feeling refreshed, you need to have 5 to 6 cycles per night. So Google sleep timer, put it in that you want to wake up at 6:30, and it'll have suggestions on what time you should be going to bed, provided you fall asleep within 15 minutes, which most of the general population can do. If you can't, then Google the way the military men fall asleep within 2 minutes, sleeping exercises, breathing exercises, sleep meditation. You should be able to make yourself fall asleep within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you need to get that 5 to 6 cycles of sleep. I can tell 100% the difference if I go to bed at, say, 8 o'clock versus 8:45.
Yeah.
Because I wake up in the middle of a cycle and I feel so fucking groggy and just takes you forever to get motivated.
Oh yeah.
Where if I went to bed at say 8 o'clock, I wake up and I'm fucking straight up and out of bed.
Yeah.
So that's one tip that I can give anyone and everyone that's struggling with depression, is get some good quality sleep. And, I know depression naps during the day are a thing. I fucking do them myself. But with me, I find, napping during the day makes me feel even worse. What the thing is, once you're up, get motivated, and do something.
And stay awake.
When you get up, make your bed.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you've done literally nothing all day. You could have sat around and, some people play video games or fucking read books all day, literally done nothing. At least that way when you come to bed, you've got a freshly made bed.
Yeah, and that's the small win of the day.
Exactly right.
Every day is made up of small wins. Like, you could have a big one, but the small ones cannot be understated.
Yeah, well, that's right. In order to achieve 100%, you got to do 1% as 100 times.
Yeah, and they all add up at the end of the day, and they all make you feel better.
Exactly right.
And
but yeah, so
another bit of advice for people with depression, and we can both say this with confidence: if you're feeling down and you're feeling like there's no way out and there's no way you can come back from whatever hole that you've been forced down into, another one is, we said it already, professional help. Someone that is trained to talk to you and help you is another step that you can take.
Oh, definitely. it's probably should be your first step. But if not, talk to friends and family.
Yeah.
Because or even fucking a total stranger, call fucking Beyond Blue or Lifeline or whoever. There's plenty of services out there.
And the only reason I say that is because as someone who took forever to take that advice, it's like, just do it. Stop putting it off.
Don't let your ego get the better of you.
And don't let your fear of what they'll tell you get in the way of it either. Because
and same thing happened to me when I was going and seeing a psychotherapist.
Yeah, I believe the main reason you went though was so that your sister didn't kick your ass.
No, that was what pushed me to go see a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
That was when I first got diagnosed.
Yeah.
So, a psychiatrist is like a psychologist, but a psychiatrist can prescribe you medications.
Psychologist talks.
cannot,
Yeah,
yes.
Psychologists talk to you.
But then a psychotherapist is someone different.
Yeah.
The main reason I stopped seeing him was, well, he repeated the last session every session. So I was doing the same session twice.
It was just, yeah.
But we weren't connecting. If you find you're not connecting with your
any therapist.
Yeah, any therapist. Then there's no harm in going and seeing a second opinion.
There's no harm in seeing a different one of the therapists either, just in case.
But one will refer you to another.
Yeah, always. And that never can be understated. Never. And what other things about depression?
Fuck. I know it's so cliche and I hated to hear it.
But it's true.
Time heals all wounds.
Yep.
Fucking, I hated hearing that.
Fucking hell, you could have heard that in a black and white movie and it's still relevant.
Oh, fucking, I hated hearing that saying.
But it's true.
Passion.
It's true.
You look at me 7 years later and I'm finally on the mend.
Technically, as someone who's been with you for a large majority of it, I wouldn't say you're finally on the mend. You're seeing the mending. You're feeling it. But
what do you think the fucking term on the mend means?
No. You've been on the mend for a while. Like, fair amount of years. But it's only been recently where you've kind of been like, yeah, I'm getting there.
That's right. I'm on the mend.
But I've seen your mood been improving for years. You've been technically on the mend, not since you got went and sought help.
No, but I first got diagnosed in 2015.
Yeah. Oh fuck that. That's a scary fucking image.
It's been 7 years. I've had that many ups and downs, and it's not till you realise I have not had a down moment in a couple of months. A few months, you start to see the light the other side. Yeah. And when you see the light and you don't see the darkness, that's when you're on the mend.
I guess.
Because you're getting better.
I'm on the opinion that you've been getting better for 2 years.
But everyone's getting better.
Yeah, true.
It's until you can see the light and actually, get out of the tunnel. That's when you're on the mend. Otherwise, you're still a work in progress.
Oh, let's be real. Even when you're completely, let's say you are cleared completely. You never will be, but you're cleared completely of depression. You're still a work in progress, but for many other reasons.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But with that high note, we'll move on to the last one. The one that isn't as serious, I guess people think. I still don't understand why people think it's not as serious. But this one can actually lead to depression.
Well, in my mind, they go hand in hand.
So that's anxiety, which I feel is like depression's dad.
It's quite the opposite, actually.
You reckon it's the other way around?
They're not polar opposites, but they're opposites.
Yeah, and that's...
Anxiety is like... if I don't get out of bed and do nothing, I'm gonna end up at 300 kilos.
Yeah.
So you're gonna stress over that by staying in bed. But depression's like, motherfucker, I'm sitting on your chest, you stay in bed.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the opposites.
Yeah.
One is like you're worried about going and doing something, like getting out of bed. You know.
But the other one
Anxiety's
is, but the other one keeps you there.
Yeah.
So I guess so.
So it's like a battle, I guess, a constant battle.
Which is where, with just the two of us here. I mean, we haven't brought it up. Aden couldn't be here, but with us two here, anxiety and depression are polar opposites, and that's like, oh hey, there's Adrian and Jordan. Because I've been diagnosed with anxiety. I have medication for it. I mean, mine definitely is a lot more sporadic, I feel. Mine definitely fucks with my head a lot. But then again, not to be understated, yours has been fucking with your head for 7 years, so...
Yeah, but it fucks with everyone's head. That's the thing.
And...
Anxiety is like worrying about something that hasn't happened yet.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I still do it.
Yeah.
Except...
It's like, I'm going to go for a drive to Woolworths. Oh shit, make sure I'm dressed up, but not too overdressed. Make sure I've got shoes on. Oh, but do I want to wear thongs or... But did my shoes go with this outfit? Right, I've got this done. Let's get in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, what if my car does a stern on? Oh shit, okay, my car's stern. Sweet.
Yep.
What if I get down the corner and someone T-bones me? Oh shit, I better not drive. Oh, but then it's a long walk. And if I need to take a walk, then I've got to get a water bottle. But what if I die of dehydration between here and Woolworths? Okay, I just jump in the car and just hope no one T-bones me. So you jump in the car, and then you're like, oh, what if I can't find a parking? I'm embarrassed because I drive around Woolworths.
Jordan. Stop. 1, stop detailing my inner thoughts. 2, I think they get the picture. I know, it all goes together. It is all a coherent... You could write a fucking novel of what someone who's going through anxiety goes through in one day.
And I didn't even get to Woolworths yet.
I know, but
what happens when you get to Woolworths?
I'm just stopping you because
you check your bank account and you're 2 cents short.
That one fucking drives me nuts because that one keeps going through my head. Lately, I haven't had to worry.
And then
about
you're
that.
like constantly looking at your phone, looking at your bank account, going, "I hope I got enough for this."
Yeah, I still do that.
And then if like you scan, I don't know, let's say you buy a salad, right? You scan the salad, you put it, and the thing goes off. Please remove item from baggage area. And you're like, fuck. And you think everyone's looking at you, and you go all red, and the staff member comes over, and you're like, I fucked up.
Yeah, that is my day today, and I fucking hate how accurate you are. I mean, there's some things about my day today that you brought up that no, I don't think of. But that might be because, you know, I've got a lot more handle on it compared to 4 months ago.
Yeah, but then you got to look at people that aren't like you and I.
Oh, fucking oath.
Some people are that riddled with anxiety that they physically, you know...
Can't leave the house.
Yeah.
Can't get out of bed. Because they're afraid as soon as they step out of bed, they're going to step on a crack and they're going to die.
Well,
I mean, that's exaggeration.
What's that phobia of germs? Whatever it's called. I wonder if it leads to that because they're so worried about a germ.
Yeah, it cannot be understated that if you have that's any fear. Not just germs. It's any fear. Most fears can develop.
Could that lead to that though? That's the thing. You're so riddled with anxiety going, shit, I hope I clean the house.
And then you become a germaphobe.
Yeah.
That's not the word for it, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
You cannot understate that because anxiety causes you to fear outcomes. Right? A phobia is kind of the same thing. It's an outcome. You fear germs because if enough of them gather and infect you, you could die. Right? Anxiety is the same thing, but it's just applied to your everyday living, which can be you have a fear of dogs. Someone with anxiety who lives in a neighborhood with every house having a dog, and I'm not talking little yip, you can kick it like a football chihuahua. I'm talking fucking big pitties or fucking staffies and huskies and all that always bark at you when you walk by. Someone with anxiety would probably go walking, I want to go for a walk this afternoon, but every single one of my neighbours has a dog. What if that dog jumps the fence and chews my throat out? It's like, oh look, Now they have a phobia of dogs.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, some of these phobias are actually something that comes from like childhood memories and whatnot, but a phobia can develop.
Yeah.
And that's... I feel like if you have anxiety, you are prone, not 100%, but you're in the fucking 90s. In the 90 percenters that you will develop a phobia if you have anxiety. Hell, you could develop multiple phobias. I'd hate to be someone with anxiety that has a fear of writing like all these things and then develops the phobia for long words and then learns what that fucking long word phobia is.
Yeah, I know the ones you're about.
Yeah, I mean, I know it starts with hippo and that's as far as I remember because holy fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, who the... Little tangent and a little bit of funny bit. Who the fuck is the smartass that came up with the name for that phobia? You have to be the cruelest motherfucker. I'd hate for you to be my dad.
Yeah.
But back onto the topic of anxiety. Don't look it up now. Don't look up the fear of long words.
Too late.
Damn. Don't try to pronounce it. You literally butchered accepted earlier. You're gonna have a hard time.
What?
Yeah, pass it.
I know.
You're gonna try
It just says hippo. Hippo monstrous quadriphobia. There you go, try and fucking pronounce that.
Hippopoto monstrosquipte Daliophobia. Now, I'm not going to try to say that all in one go, because I'm human. But back to the topic of anxiety. So, there's always a lot to unpack when it's something that you or I have personally experienced in. I mean, technically, the depression segment kind of went for nearly 20 minutes. The addiction section nearly went for 20 minutes. Every other one hasn't. So, but the sad thing with anxiety is it's the same deal. You feel like you are constantly worrying about something that hasn't even fucking happened yet, or it's dictating your actions in a day. It's dictating your moods, because anxiety can dictate your mood just as much as depression can. Same thing with everything else that we've talked about today and any other mental illness out there. Seek professional help. Because seek help, actually. Friends, family can always be the starting point, as you've said earlier. As for professionals, they can talk you through your problems. Some of them can prescribe you something if it is literally the last resort. That's something we haven't gotten to. If you have a mental illness, don't rely on the medication to start with. Like, personally. Some antidepressants, yeah, you probably are going to
What do you mean personally? You went straight on to medications.
I don't take them. Not all the time.
But yeah, it's a take as you need basis, but you... Like I said to you boys, when before you guys went and saw professional help, I said you need to go talk to someone about your problem.
Yeah, me and Aden are bad for that.
You need to go talk to someone about your problems rather than jumping on medication. Could be a flawed way of thinking, but medications are your last line of defense. Not your first line, they're your last line.
Yeah, they're your last.
If you can talk about your problems and you feel better, fantastic. Organise a session once a month. Once a fucking week if you need to. But medications, in my mind, should be a last resort. They should never be a first resort.
Unfortunately for me, when I got diagnosed, I immediately got given a fucking script. So, I don't know what you want from me. My doctor was like, yeah, you need this. It's like, whatever, fine. Not like I can say no to a doctor.
Well, you can.
I can. I didn't.
You've always got the choice. Everyone's got a choice.
I know. But the thing is, after I discussed everything with him, it was kind of hard for me not to. I don't know why.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I don't get with GPs. So general practitioner, they're like a jack of all trades. They're not a specialist in that field.
No, they're not.
What they should do is refer to you as a specialist in that field.
Yeah.
And then that specialist goes, right, you can either benefit from talking to me, or I think you'll benefit on taking this. And yeah,
It's a fact.
that shits me off. It really does.
When a GP's always pushing prescriptions.
Yeah, it's why? Why can't we just fucking talk to someone that's a psychologist, psychiatrist, who fucking ever? Why can't you book someone to put them on a mental health plan, to talk to someone first and hash out their problems? Because it could be unresolved fucking childhood trauma. And what you're doing is a trauma response to something that happened in your childhood that you've repressed and put in a box and thrown in the fucking ocean.
Mm.
Instead of dealing with your issues head on, you're essentially even burying it even more in the ocean by jumping straight onto tablets. That's what I hate about GPs. Is they'll listen, but like I found with a lot of GPs, they'll listen and then just, okay, done, I've given you a prescription of this.
No, fucker, that's not what I came here for.
The amount of times I've thrown prescriptions in the bin, like tore them up, thrown them in the bin. Because I go, you didn't listen to a fucking word I said. You've just gone, he feels a bit low, so let's just fucking write him a script for this, or a script for that. It's like, that's no. Send me to someone and do it in a proper step-by-step analysis, rather than just go, you need tablets, let's just medicate you. Because that just makes you feel even worse, because now you've got to take a tablet for God knows how long.
Mm. If anyone can attest to taking a tablet just because you can't get off them now, that's probably you to a T. Because you've been taking tablets pretty much ever since you've been diagnosed.
I've had at least a tablet a day.
For 7 fucking years. Oh, that's a scary thought. Don't do the math. You're doing the math.
Yeah, let me do that.
Doing the math. Fucking hell.
365 days a year times by 7 years. 2,555. 2,500 tablets.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, let's wrap this one up. Mental health is not something that should be scoffed at. It should never be ignored. There is one thing about mental illness I actually will say that does piss me off, is people who have no issue whatsoever and they claim to have.
People that diagnose themselves?
Yep.
Oh, don't even get me started. I could go on a long tangent about that.
And then there are others that make fun of mental illness as well. Like, yeah, we might have poked some little holes here and there ourselves.
I poke fun at depression all the time.
But those who don't understand,
a lot of people do it maliciously. Though.
If you do it maliciously, we always say this: if you do anything out of malice, you're a cunt and need to stop. And that's the same with mental health.
Yeah, you obviously don't say it to someone who's struggling.
No, obviously. if you say, my favorite thing, if you are someone who tells some people to go kill themselves, you be very fucking careful if you're not going to stop. You say it to someone who's depressed, they will follow it.
Oh, yeah.
And if they that's your fault.
You can actually be done for manslaughter for that.
Yeah, and if they do it because you said it, that's your fault.
Mm.
That's not them. That's not them going, well, he didn't have to take me seriously. Fucker, he's got depression. And it doesn't matter if you didn't know that.
I get that. And as, you know, also, how can I word it? A lot of the old school mentality, which I sort of hate, but it rings true too, is, you know, you're depressed, you know, you're a fucking, I don't know, you're a white teenage boy living in the suburbs. What are you going to be depressed about?
Motherfucker, he doesn't control that.
Yeah, I know. But there's children, you know, starving in Africa, for instance. I'll use that because I hate that analogy, but
it's true.
Yeah, you know, you're just not being grateful for the life you've been given.
Mm.
Yes, first world problems. I know, I get that. And as someone that's fucking danced with my own demons and nearly lost to them a couple of times.
Mm.
When you start not worrying about what's wrong with your life and actually pay attention to what's right in your life, you start becoming grateful for the sunrises and the sunsets you do see, and you will turn your life around.
That being said,
you're gonna have to help yourself. At the end of the day, especially with addictions and mental health, if you don't help yourself, no one else will. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. The amount of times where you've seen, you can tell people go see mental health, but if they don't want to, they won't. And this is I want to say the bad side that doesn't ever get talked about with mental illnesses. Because a lot of people think, especially the older generation, think it's selfish, you're doing it, you're going to hurt all these other people, and you just, I get that, but you can't stay alive for everyone else. If you really want to end it, you will. If you're just going to cut yourself and then show them off, it's a cry for attention. Yes, there can be, how can I word this? You can do it, as a cry for attention, but as long as that attention gets met and you go see someone about why the fuck you wanted to cut yourself for, otherwise you're just going to keep doing it for attention and validation and whatever have you. But if you're going to sit there and diagnose yourself with depression because you've had a bad day, or you've lost a family member, which is a traumatic experience, I understand that. As someone that's only got fucking my mum left, it's very, grief is very difficult to deal with, but it's not, it goes away. When it comes to depression and anxiety especially, it doesn't go away.
no.
So, you can do the tough love stance on things. If it works, it works. Some people need that tough love.
If it doesn't,
then you need to show them that, the gentle shoulder, not soldier. The gentle shoulder.
yeah. I mean, the gentle soldier thing works too.
Yeah. It depends on how that person reacts to that situation. But, if you're going to diagnose yourself with a mental illness because of a past trauma that's happened, then you're just an idiot in my books. Because if you're not going to go see someone and talk about your issues, then what's the point in diagnosing yourself? It's not trendy.
No.
It won't get you likes and follows and fucking the 15 seconds of fame. You're just going to look like an absolute fucking knob to the rest of the world.
And,
I can't fucking stand that shit.
And
you see it so much, especially with the younger generation. Oh my god, my girlfriend broke up with me, I'm going to kill myself. It's like, dude, you're not depressed. So, yes, your girlfriend of fucking 3 weeks broke up with you. Still funny shit.
Very, very clear example. I'm guessing you've been watching TikTok today.
No, I haven't actually. But, it's even like when people get older, they do it for attention.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call a fucking middle-aged white woman, not like a young Karen. I don't know. We'll just say a young Karen, for instance. This whole self-entitled movement really just, it gives you absolute fucking shits, because you're like, you've got all this, you work hard for your money, and you have all this to be grateful for, yet just because you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you think your world's falling apart. That's not mental illness, and that's what not mental illness is about.
No.
Mental illness is dancing with your fucking demons, kicking them in the balls, and fucking winning the fight.
Hopefully. I guess with that, we'll I mean, yeah, there might be some we've missed. I'm pretty sure there's a few we've missed, actually, but we can't be here all day.
Yeah, that's right. You got to work, and I got shit to do.
Yeah. So I guess with that, we'll call that. Like we said, seek help of any kind if you think you're going through mental illness. Don't diagnose yourself off the cuff, because, like Jordan said, that's not what's going to help you. What's going to help you is, in the long run, what's going to help you is patience, time, and willingness to seek help.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't want to help yourself, no one else is going to help you.
I mean, yeah, sure, people will keep saying, I'm here for you, but even that's limited, as many times as they tell you that.
Oh, look, I did the exact same thing for you.
Oh, fuck.
I'm fucking sick of it. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make a drink. The amount of times I'd said to you,
go seek.
As an example, if you don't fucking whinge to me about your problems, because I'm done, I'm over it, I don't want to hear about your fucking bullshit. You're not going to go seek help. Don't fucking talk to me about it.
And I didn't.
I'll give you the cold shoulder. Sorry. Give you the warm shoulder. Give you the cold shoulder. I fucking just about dragged you there by the skull of your fucking, the scruff of your neck. Didn't all fucking, nothing worked. It's not until you realised, I'm sick of feeling like shit. Let's go fix it.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I've always fucking worked. It sucks, and I admit I do get on everyone's nerves, but hey, that's just who I am.
If you're gonna feel like shit, talk to someone about it. If they're willing to help you, take fucking help. At the end of the day, no, we're all in this together. You're not alone with anything that you're going through. We've all been through it before. We can all lend you a helping hand. If you're not going to take the helping hand, you can do it yourself. You're only going to sink or swim. And you only got yourself to blame for that.
Pretty much.
I'm going to come off as a fucking prick. I know I am.
Yeah, but that's how you always come off, so what's the difference?
Yeah, that's true.
There's no point sugarcoating who you really are, so stop trying. just be you. Just be you. People will either appreciate it or tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, well,
and if they tell you to fuck off, you're like, okay, bye.
Well, obviously, you live on your life.
Pretty much. And as you said earlier, winning the battle so that you can sit there and appreciate every sunrise and sunset. I think we can both say today's sunrise is actually pretty cool, right?
Yeah, well, I was getting real tired there, and then the sun broke over the horizon, and it was like, ooh. I was like, my eyes I woke up and it's like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember I came out for the first coffee and smoke of the day, and I was sitting there. I noticed the sun broke through, and I'm like, today's gonna be a good day. So, yeah, at the end of
the day, if you're struggling, go seek help. Go tell your mate, look, man, I'm not doing all that. And then come up with a plan of attack between both of you. Whether male, female, and fucking male and male, whoever. Your mum, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your grandparents.
Your siblings, even.
Yeah, exactly right. Honestly, go talk to your grandparents. You got kids. Some people do, some people don't. If you got the privilege of seeing grandparents, talk to them. Because I tell you what, they've been through fucking shit.
And if they haven't, they're lying. And I guess with that, that's been our discussion on mental illness. Thank you all for listening today. And like we said, seek help if needed. We've already done an episode where we've linked a lot of helplines and all that in the past.
We'll do that again.
I'll include them for this one as well. Of course, a lot of these links are harder to get if you're listening to this on like a streaming service like Spotify and whatnot. But if you're watching this on YouTube or you want the links and they're not popping up for you anywhere else, look for the YouTube channel, look for this specific episode. They will be in the description of that episode.
You should be able to do it with the Spotify as well.
Should be able to, but I've had some people like...
It won't work.
Yeah. It's very finicky.
Yeah.
So I'll try, but like you said, I've got shit to do, I've got work later today. I've got limited time to fucking finick around and fuck with it. If I can't get to it before I go to work, and you've watched this episode at its premiere, wait a few hours to come back and have it, because I'll check onto it this afternoon.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you all again. We'll see you next week. And yes, next week will be lighter, so you can smile a bit more next week.
See you later.
Have a good one, guys.